A little while ago I reviewed the AK-12, and today I'm super excited to get to review another new AK, the AK-12. I know it's a little confusing because I just said AK-12, but this AK-12. Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the brand new NPOAEG AK-12. Now what's new about this one compared to the previous one that I talked about? We're going to break it down in as much detail as possible without boring you to death. After all, this is an airsoft review, not an episode of Forgotten Weapons. So let's take a look at some of the external differences between this one and the previous one. Now before we get into nitty-gritty details of the gun, let's go over a general overview. First thing I want to let you guys know is this particular version of the AK-12 that we have here is replicated from the exact one, well, as close as a replication of the exact one that will be given to all Russian military forces as their new standard issue weapon. How cool is that? Even though I do think the older AK-12 that I reviewed before was a little cooler, and we'll get into the reasons why, but this one is going to be the next bad boy that's going to carry the Russian military for, well, however many years. Now let's get into the differences between this one and the previous. With that cool fun fact out of the way, there are actually several differences with this gun compared to the last one. And before we get into some of the physical differences, there are some aesthetic differences as well. Namely, the color scheme. With the previous one, the handguard, pistol grip, and buttstock were gray. This one is in all black tactical color. Now getting into the physical differences, first thing you'll see is the difference in the handguard. With the old one, it was slightly longer and it was slanted. Also had different venting ports. I felt it made the AK look much more handsome and gave it almost a retro futuristic kind of a look. This one goes back to a more traditionalist setup. However, it does have a top rail and a bottom rail for all of your accessories. Speaking of top rail, it also links nicely with the rail on top of the dust cover, giving it a semi-monolithic look. Now towards the middle portion of the gun, you will see another difference between this version of the AK-12 and its predecessor. This one, they kind of walked back their selector design back to the more traditional AK style selector, albeit with an enlarged assist here for you to use your index finger to change between the different modes of fire. Another notable difference between our airsoft version we have here and the real steel version is on the real steel version, there is a 2-round burst selection as well as a semi and full auto. On the airsoft version, however, we only have a semi and full auto. However, this gun is running a version 3 gearbox, and if you want to put different electrical programmers in there, you can add that 2-round burst later if you would so please. Going back to this old style magazine release, I guess after all, being the new standard issue weapon, they wanted to keep the same manual of arms, so old soldiers can go from the old guns to the new guns without having to relearn or readjust to new ways of changing magazines. Finally, we move towards the rear section of our gun, which is the old buttstock. Ah man, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I like the old one more. The old one was slim and it had this, I'm going to say it one more time, retro futuristic kind of look to it. This one, well, it's just another M4 style stock on an AK gun. But do also note, if you look at photos of the real steel version of this particular AK-12, this is also not the stock that they use. It is similar, but different. They also have a very hard plastic butt pad. I've shouldered this gun and it's not the most comfortable because these teeth do dig into your shoulder a little bit. The stock though does fold. There's a button right here that allow you to fold to the side. There's no locking mechanism on the side here, so there's nothing can hook it into place, so it's a little wobbly. But there is a locking mechanism right here that you need to depress before you can swing it back out. A really kick-ass feature about this baby is that it is a full steel gun, so it's got a good amount of weight to it. But ergonomically, it feels really good. This pistol grip is fantastic. And even being a full steel gun, it doesn't feel either front heavy or rear heavy. Everything is very balanced right in the middle, so I do feel like I can carry this for extended periods of time. Another thing you want to notice is that it does keep a lot of that rawness that you expect from AK platforms. So you see some of the paint is a little different up front, and you can see some of the line work in the metal. Even the magazine is done in such a way where you still see some of the filing and cut marks modified out of an actual AK magazine, now used to be a mid-cap mag. This is really, really cool. Very one of a kind, and you'd come to expect this from NPO. Finally, it's hop-up time, guys, and you know what that means. Find the hop-up, and if you guessed, if I pull the charging handle back, you'll find it. You'd be right. I'm just gonna put this down, pull it back, and you'll find it right there. Push it forward or pull it back for more or less hop. I'm using 0.2 gram BBs and a 7.4 LiPo battery. Here we are roughly 20 meters away. I got my brace, got the gun, took off my angle foregrip because I'm gonna be shooting off of this. Let's see how it fares against Quakey's face. Set this up properly. Let's go check out those results. The results were actually not bad from roughly 20 meters away. Quake even has a BB still stuck in his face while holding a fairly decent spread. And I'm talking about the AK-12, of course, not Quakey's face. Now let's wrap this thing up. Throughout this review, I made a lot of recommendations and throwbacks to my old AK-12 video. If you want to watch it, click it in the card, or you can find it in the description. The reason why I say that is because I want you to pause this video right now, and I want you to go back and watch it. See what I did there? Watch it and comment below. Which one did you like more? Did you like the AK-12 or did you like this one? It's okay. You guys go ahead. I can wait. Oh, you done? Cool. I'm really dying to see which do you guys prefer, because here it is. I'm gonna let you know which one I prefer, and it is the old one. That's the one I actually prefer. I felt like with the old one, Kalashnikov really was trying to push forward with some new design concepts. For starters, they changed up the color. It's got a gray tone to it on some of the accessories. They changed the fire control to something a little bit different. They changed the buttstock style to something a little bit different. And I felt like those little refinements really made that older AK-12 step out and look just refreshing. Now don't get me wrong, I feel like this AK-12 is a very apt gun and a great looking gun all in all for an AK, coming from an AR guy. But at the same time, I just feel like there's a lot of this that really screams, yes, we want to maintain some of the tradition and old manual of arms to allow our soldiers, which will field this gun in the field as their primary tool, to be able to get used to a new platform that doesn't make them feel like they have to relearn something. So I can see why the fire selector is this walk back to this old style, why they kept the old magazine release. It all feels like an AK, albeit updated with just enough modernity. No, Grandpa, this is not 40s anymore. We like Picatinny rail. I know, I had to throw in the really bad Russian accent in there. But what do you guys think? Let me know all that in the comment section below, including my terrible Russian accent. And if you want really cool guns like this NPOAEG AK-12, the new one, don't forget to check out our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. My name is Mark, AK Blue Steel, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of RedWolf TV. I just had to do it.